Hello out there, Indie Adam here. I'm with.
Jacqueline Monroy. I've been for 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah,
And do you like Buffalo? You like the community?
I love the community.
Yeah.
Is a place.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. And you work in fashion.
yes, I do.
Can you give me a little bit of background about your passion behind fashion?
Of course. Well, I've been a star, since very early age. I have been passionate about aesthetics, all these fashion outfits, but also music and everything involved. So, yeah, like I think my fashion, like the passion for fashion started since very early age, maybe 2 years old.
That's that we need to TM that or trademark that passion for fashion.
Yes,
In birthday
I know it's gotcha.
But when I met you, you had such good energy,
Yeah,
and I like that because when you are in this industry, either film, entertainment, whatever have you, you gotta have positive and reinforcing energy.
you definitely have to. Yeah.
And, thank you for sitting with me today just to kinda, like, pick your brain on fashion.
Oh, please, sir.
Before we get into everything, let me ask one other question. You like to travel a lot too, don't you?
Always traveling.
Yes, I see that. Can you give me a couple places that you've traveled to?
Of course. Well, this year, I've been in the States, but I travel often to Canada, collaborating with more creatives. I've been working, actually, I just work for an art gallery in Montreal, and I'll be a model, and this gonna be this summer. So I'm very excited that that's coming true. But I've been in Atlanta last weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I saw that. Yeah. How was that? What was that, first off?
That was in Atlanta, and that was a breakaway festival. That was my first one. I really want to go since last year, but I couldn't make it, so I went. It's 2 days, Friday, Saturday, and actually it's amazing because you have Sunday to rest.
Sunday to Rips.
That was amazing, like connecting with creatives, like be more closer to the DJs that I like, and the music that I love. So the experience was one and a kind. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I definitely think, and I wanted to say you looked like you had a great time doing
I
that.
really
You built a career over fashion, production, and creative industries. We've talked about that just very briefly. What was your starting point? How did you feel, or how did you feel your evolution of talent and like where you are now evolved over time?
Right. Well, I honestly start in my college because I have multiple degrees, but one of them is like fashion business.
Okay.
And I was literally the girl that knows everybody because it's everywhere. But I mean, it's not in bad way. Like, I studied fashion business, but also I took like extra classes, like I don't know, graphic design, also film. Everything that I feel passionate with, I just take it and learn. So it's not that I know everything. I'm always learning, but I know like the basics from everything so I can create like all my ideas. And yeah, like that actually makes me feel connected to all of these creatives and these projects. And yeah, actually, I feel very passionate about multiple industries and how to connect to each other. It makes it feel like so alive.
Your curiosity drove you into multiple industries. Obviously, you've mentioned that. What was the moment you realized you really just loved this? Like, what was that moment like?
Actually, in my college, like 10 years ago, actually, Facebook just reminded me this. Actually, why?
I do.
Oh,
I do.
right?
Memories all the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Me too.
I
Everybody say like, who else? Like, well, do I do?
Yeah,
Like, so I know.
guilty.
I know. So, well, Facebook just reminded me that 10 years ago was my first runway, working as assistants, like styling and, all these productions. So I think that was the first time because while I was in my, studying, like I travel, I always travel. Like since I was studying like very early age because I was like, oh, I want to study, I don't know, like illustration, like fashion illustration. So I travel to other cities, other countries
To learn
to
that.
learn that. But like core.
Yeah.
So I did that. I don't control myself about my passions for sure. So
Your passions drive you,
oh yeah, for
basically.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, actually I have to say that I was in college and my first show that I was working with, like so close to the designers and models and all the beauty team and hairstylists. So that was so amazing, to see all these talented people that I was like, I want to know everything about it.
Yeah,
So I think I became to the perfect place
yeah,
because I start from the backstage to see how like stylist and production team and all the photographers, videographers, everything come together. So I was like, I want to know everything about this.
yeah.
So that was my first show, like since the beginning until the end.
So from backstage to now front stage?
Everything.
Uh,
I did everything, even like the production for fashion films. Like I haven't explored every part. Well, I don't know if every part yet.
I mean, is there an endless I feel like fashion has endless
A
possibilities.
100%. Yeah, it's everywhere.
You could do anything with it.
Anything.
Yeah,
And you can create every day.
yeah,
Like I don't know. You can renovate yourself. So that's pretty awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think that was my, like focus point. Like when I realized, like, okay, I really want to do this,
Yeah.
and that was 10 years ago. So I was very,
Wow. So you've been doing it a minute. You have a little bit of more verse knowledge, I would say now. Is there anything you would tell the younger self you now that you know where you're at now?
I did it.
This Oh, I love it.
You know
I
what?
love that.
Yeah.
Love that. I'm sorry. I really do just love that.
I just love it. I always feel I'm a passionate person, but
Yeah.
like I just I'm just hungry to learn more. I never will know everything, but I'm so humble to connect with more people and create amazing things that's what I'm here.
Yeah. And with that, it goes to our next questions. How do you balance wearing so many hats? I mean, how do you do that?
I know. Well, actually, I think everything is part of everything is connected because, my passion going through fashion, like I know I do like music and then it's this fashion world and stylist, but in beauty, but everything comes together because I think my identity is being creative.
Yeah.
So everything that I do, I just create from my core, like, okay, what I really want that this feels like.
Yeah.
So I start from there. And like you can tell, like, I don't know, a fashion show needs music.
Yeah.
So we need DJs,
Yeah.
a commercial,
Yeah.
like a press release. Everything has music, like while the runway is happening, like you are listening to music, like you're connected. You have the mixers, you have the pre-events.
All right, pause for 1 sec. I gotta ask you, what is your favorite type of music to like jam out to when you're
Oh,
in the fashion
that's so
style?
hard. I can tell. Well, for fashion, we use EDM.
Okay.
Yeah, most lately, but like they have also like jazz and a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think the music sets the tone for the type of fashion you're producing?
100% because every designer has their own style, the identity, and that's not only a fashion. That's always in everywhere. Like even your personal branding, all right? You have
Right.
your own style. So yeah, for sure.
Let me ask you something. If somebody said, we're going to play classical music at a fashion show, what is your first thought that comes to mind about what type of fashion are we displaying?
Well, actually, we just had one fashion show that was very famous. I need to show you. And actually, this was the first fashion show that was the models was were able to modeling, but also like dance ballet.
Oh,
So that was amazing, and that was our orchestra and everything, and that was beautiful. So I can tell fashion is art.
yeah. I really find that interesting how you talked. I mean, we could play any song and you automatically know instinctually what the design of art you're going to be displayed.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this because I know you've done major events across the country, but one of them was in New York,
Yes.
and that was for Fashion Week. You've
Yes.
done the Miami Swim Week. What's something people don't really see behind the scenes that in this industry?
Right. Well, everybody sees the glamour, the outfits, like, oh, I don't know. Like, let me ask you, like, if I told you, like, what is a fashion show for you? What is the first thing that comes to your mind?
I think of runways.
Right.
I That's what I think of when you
Right.
say fashion. I'm thinking of a runway, some type of I don't wanna say Ace of Base because that would be not great music, but I really like it. Like, just kinda like either like a techno,
Right.
um
I mean, every fashion show has their own
yeah,
kind of style, but
yeah,
yeah,
that's what I think of.
exactly. So that's like everybody sees, and it's normal because it's visual, right? It's a visual fashion show. So I would say that I can say it's all the long hours behind, like all the hard work behind. It's like we're talking about 12-hour shifts, 20-hour shifts. It's like very similar to film, I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like I've been working, for example, for New York Fashion Week, I don't know, creating like 20 styles per day. And then I don't know, you wake up. Well, this is like a background, like to put you in the context, like New York Fashion Week for me is like a full week. But prior to that, we prepared for maybe a year.
Yeah,
And you guys only looking and watching the shows for I don't know, a week, maybe two.
yeah,
But it's like a long year, behind and ahead.
yeah.
Because one time that this one is finished, we are preparing the next one.
I was gonna say that you also have to be cross promoting those events, I assume. So you're pushing it the next event at the same event.
Exactly. The venues and most likely I already set up the venues
Yeah.
and are many fashion shows that wanna like multi venues, so that's another story. But coming back to the topic, yeah, I mean the long hours, like during the set, like the press releases, all these commercials, all the campaigns, but also I can tell is logistics.
Yes.
Everything is logistic.
Yeah.
And also like working into chaos, but I love that.
Yeah.
Like it's exciting.
So we talked music, we talked it as fashion element. Lighting is probably very important too.
100%. Yeah. And also like this is a thing, like when you're in backstage, sometimes you don't have because the venue doesn't allow you to have like a proper light. So you have to styling whatever, like however you have space and whatever is the condition, you have to adapt. So I'm a specialized on that. I love that. I love to be out of my comfort zone 100%.
Let me ask you, have you ever done or ever thought about doing like an event where you just put out, we're gonna have tons of photographers here. You just come and do your own fashion design. We have a backdrop for you. Like maybe there's 4 different backdrops you set up or something, and people can just come and do whatever, get shots, have like that. Have you ever done anything like
Yeah,
something in that realm?
of course. Yeah, I always do it like for photo shoots
Yeah.
or for editorials. I passionate about editorials for artists, for DJs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always do that. I prepare like the feeds.
Yeah.
I connect with designers, everything, all these talents, and then we create like I don't know a music video, for example. I style in music videos or commercials. Also photo shoots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and we have multiple feeds for
Now,
the photo
talking
shoots.
about Buffalo at all, have you done anything fashion like, have you done any events for Buffalo? Are you considering anything like that?
Well, that's where I start in the mixers. But yeah, definitely. I've been working with also with people that I meet in the mixers and
Yeah.
has been amazing. I have more. Well, actually, Buffalo Fashion Week just happened.
Yes.
So unfortunately, I was in Atlanta, but I was in the mixer
Yep.
for the talents, and I met all these amazing designers. They are like amateur, juniors, and all these pro because it's talent,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love these brands specifically because I can connect. I were able to connect with them and also like connect with my actual projects and editorials that I have in Canada.
Yeah.
So there is good projects coming up.
I'm good to hear. I'm very happy to hear that because when anybody brings something new to Buffalo to kind of reinvigorate it,
Yeah,
that makes me excited. And you've already met a few people just going to the one mixer that I was at with you. And, that was a smaller one, I'm sure, but I could tell you that, you start intermingling, excuse me, with some of these artists, you could create a whole foundation for a show or event for yourself.
100%. And that's everybody are telling me like we have to start now, and it's
Yeah.
like yeah. So
What has been one of the most challenging moments of your career, and how did it shape your work today?
okay, well, I think the most challenging part was try to try to put me in a box. Like, many creatives in this industry just think like, oh my God, I have to choose one job. I have to choose this industry or this gig or, this project. But actually, like, we are more multi-talented people out there. And, you have to realize, like, hey, like, I don't have to be like everybody else. If you want to create, like, we are more people here, like, ready.
I like how you said that,
So,
being put into a box.
yes,
I never liked that.
me either.
Um, I'm a filmmaker where, that's my background.
Yeah.
And in my filmmaking days, I can tell you that I've had to do more of a genre projects than like I've always wanted to make a romantic comedy.
Okay.
But there's just no money for me personally to make a romantic comedy in, you know what I mean? Because no one, when they think of an Adam Steiger film or a project or something, they don't think of a romantic comedy. They think of monsters or aliens or some crazy nonsense. But so that box that you're talking about, I feel it. And I never liked being in the box. But you know what? The box has been somewhat good to me, but not yeah, something.
You can innovate
Yeah.
from the box.
I have to ask you this because you did bring it up before. Your degrees.
Yes.
I'm always I really believe in education. Education is huge for me personally. And whenever I hear especially in our country, in the United States, women in education, I'm always instantly gravitated because I want to know more. What type of degrees do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Of course. Well, I study fashion business,
Yeah.
but I also study international relations that is based on finance, marketing. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you
So
got the best worlds there.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I came from my background, my family are like doctors, medical, so
Well, and you're going to be the financial part.
I was just like, yeah, I want to be into fashion. But that was funny, but also like, open my world to multiple possibilities.
Do you make a like is there a union for fashion models or no?
Yes. Well, like the creative industry, yes, but not like itself.
Yeah.
It's just like this world is so huge.
Yeah.
It's so huge. Oh, honestly not.
No.
Not that I know. No.
Cuz I didn't know if that was something models did, if they had unions like cuz now film has, in union.
And producers and actors
Yeah,
and all that.
and the guilds and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, actually, it could be great, but this star like it's massive. This war is massive because right now with the AI, that's another story.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that question too. Yeah. I was gonna say, how is AI hurting you right now? Is it hurting you?
I love it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, like it's a little bit of everything, like into music, many producers. So I was like, okay, that's not really music, but I'm not gonna talk about it. We're talking about fashion.
Fashion.
But models like actually they can have their own, like profiles
Yeah.
and be in multiple countries
Yeah.
and do multiple campaigns
Yeah.
because of AI.
Really?
So that's one example.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's massive. I also use AI all the time in my job, like because I also work as e-commerce
Yeah.
content specialist. So yeah, like it's just Amazon, Walmart,
Do you
all of these
think
companies.
do you think AI has really exploded over the last year specifically?
It start to.
Yeah.
Yeah, start to. But of course, it's not like a human being, right? Like, but it's very useful.
Now you're wearing something today. Who are you wearing? What are you wearing?
Well, I'm wearing DKNY. This is a New York brand.
Okay.
And it's a designer that became commercial, but it's like very, very nice. Like I'm very amazed girl
Uh-huh.
for this podcast.
Okay.
So yeah, and actually this is a fact.
Please.
All my feeds are very functional
Uh-huh.
because my days are like 12 hours maybe.
Yeah.
So I have to be everywhere. And guess what? This is not a blouse. This is a swimsuit.
Is it?
It is.
So you get to go like right to the beach after.
Of course.
I mean, I don't know if you want to go to the beach in Buffalo, but hey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to, connect everything. Like when I'm a stylist, not only for me, like for my clients as well.
Hell,
Like I adapt to psychology, but also I adapt to the lifestyle.
yeah.
Because everybody has their own lifestyle. So I just try to do it easy and make it easy for everybody.
Yeah.
For example, for me, yeah, I have a long day, so I dress for that.
You're now expanding into music.
Yes.
DJing, are you?
I
Or are you just producing DJs?
I do. No, no, no. I actually like learning.
Yeah.
I know how to play decks and everything. It's pretty funny. Even like has been like a long journey for me. But I have I have to say like stars in Yamaha Academy, like while I was 12 years old.
Really?
Yeah, so I know how to play piano, electric guitar. So the music is a passion for me. So I've been learning that, composition. Uh, my brother were a drummer.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like all these man.
Do you ever jam out with him? Like, what would you do? Like, what?
Well, I actually
Piano and jump drum?
not really because they were like more into metal.
Okay. All right.
I like that.
Hey, okay, no problem. Metal.
I love music.
Metal.
Yeah, I'm not judge the gender. Actually, I love that.
Ah,
Any kind of music, I just love it. And
yeah.
I also like to discover live music is my favorite.
I'm falling in love with it. Like, get over.
I'm always looking, to live places. Actually, in the mixer, I asked too many creatives, like, where's the jazz? Like, where is, yeah,
Yeah.
that was perfect. But yeah, coming back to the topic, yeah, I studied all of these. So back then, I like to write, songwriting.
Yeah.
So I do that for my brother's band and
Do you say?
friends. I did.
I heard. Thought you were saying you.
Did before, like, yeah, many years. Right now, I'm just more into DJing and, connecting. That's kind of a meditation for me, like it's just so relaxing and you can connect through people and the music and emotions and just engage with them. It's very fun.
How do you feel like fashion and mental health work together? Do they work together at all? Do you think it's
That's what do you mean?
well, I mean, it could really mean anything. I'm curious because I've asked quite a few people throughout doing these podcasts about mental health and art.
Right.
And I was just curious if there's a thin line or if there's a line that crosses it with mental health and fashion, or is it just, bunch of people that, I mean, I don't want to categorize one way or the other, but because I just don't know the industry. But mental health, how much is that inspired or not inspired in the industry that you work with?
Well, it's actually a hard one because, like I say, it's a fast-paced environment. So it's very,
Somebody's always
like,
judging you.
of course,
That's what I would feel.
the bar is it's so high.
Yeah.
The bar is so high. But I mean, I can tell it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Like this word is not for everybody. It's like give everything and put everything on that every day. Like, make your absolutely best
Yeah.
because there is more people like waiting for that opportunity. So if it's not your passion, there are thousands out there.
Is there anything that you've like can look back and say, well, I really suffered because of this art?
Uh, Probably in the movies. No, but for real, like, all the people, all the core teams that I work with, we are passionate about it. So it's like we can do this every day, all day. Doesn't matter if our 12 hours here.
In heels
We
though?
just love it.
In heels.
In heels?
Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
You could do a 12-hour. Oh man, I don't you
Yeah.
ever worry about breaking your foot or something?
No, but let me say something.
Please.
For me to be a stylist, well, we also wear another shoes and backstage. And then like for the show,
Oh, you slid on it off. Cool. So that's part of the display. Okay, everybody. Now you know the secret.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because we're talking like 5 a.m. till 6 p.m. and then the show starts at 7 and then till 10 and then
Yeah.
you have an event after that. So
I can only imagine, because of the type of shoes that many people would wear
yeah,
in fashion, your feet are often not taken care of as much as they should be.
no, that's priority.
Is it?
In fashion, that's priority because
Is it?
you are, yeah, like you are long hours,
Yeah.
like we're talking like 12 hours at least.
Is there a secret for, like, if you're wearing heels for a long extended period of time?
Just hold the pink. Of course, it's like if it looks good, it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
No question asked. But yeah, I can tell I'm creating this project that I just told you about that
Yeah.
it's gonna be a styling
Okay.
project, connecting with more creatives. So it's a very, very interesting one. And I really want to do it in Buffalo
Please.
because Buffalo has been show me so much love and like I found a beautiful community that I really wanna, create with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be in Buffalo. Maybe start in Buffalo, but it's gonna be a fun one. And yeah, that is actually my next project.
Have you ever done, like, I don't know, wardrobe costumes or anything like that for like
Yeah,
either actors or anything to that nature?
I do. Also, I'm between talks for theater
Oh,
in Buffalo, so I'm very excited about it because it's something new.
yeah.
Like
Theater is
new that I
tough.
want to explore. Yes. So that's pretty nice. I can tell so much about it because it's a new project and also some more projects over there, but you're gonna see soon. And also, yeah, I've been saying like I've been working to I don't know, to into fashion shows, but also like model castings.
Okay.
So that's one part of all this world that is happening prior the runway. And it's the same week, like fashion week, but it's like, I don't know, like 6 days before. And the model casting is like, 1, 2, 3 days.
Yeah.
And these models came from all over the world.
Yeah.
So
What was the farthest you think you heard?
what do you mean?
Like the farthest country or
Kazakhstan.
where was it?
Kazakhstan or
Whoa, I don't know if I've even heard of that. I don't doubt they
I
exist.
I love countries. I'm passionate about it.
Where is that?
That is actually between Russia, like yeah, between Russia and Asia.
Really?
Yeah, it's very small,
Yeah.
but it's amazing.
Well, I know Russia and China are very close to one another.
Yeah.
So always wondered if there was like a culture in between that.
It is.
It is.
Actually, you have yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to talk about it
Yeah.
because it's very good.
Well, let me ask you this. We're coming to my favorite part of this thing. These interviews that I do. And these are called the Fast Five questions.
So
All right. So these are basically a rapid fire set of questions that I ask.
mhm,
First thing that comes to mind. Um, and we'll go from there. Are you ready?
I guess
All right, here we go. One word that describes your creative style.
Jay Monroy style because I've always I have a my best friend always say like every time that she hang out with me, I'm look different. Maybe she's right.
Yes. I've met you now what, twice?
Yes.
And each time I feel like it's a little bit different.
Just
You can't have the same wardrobe on.
and
That
that's
yeah.
keep happening.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Favorite fashion week city?
Okay. New Year's.
New York, hands down.
Of course.
Yeah.
The perfect place. I
Uh,
love it.
Go to song when you're in a creative mode. So what is the song that you like to play when you're ready to get creative?
Hmm. I can tell a sound, but I can tell every morning start with music since 6 a.m.
Okay.
So let's
What's the
not.
first type of music that you listen to? EDM.
Yeah.
Are you just on an EDM phase right now?
Of course.
Okay, that's fair.
No, I mean, it's just EDM was like since I was 12 years old,
Yeah.
So yeah, EDM, like even I literally work out every morning and that started with EDM.
Hey,
It's so hard.
hey, start
Right
big.
away.
Start big, right? All right. Dream band you'd want to collaborate with as a DJ.
That's a hard one, but I know something's in my mind. But for what? Collaborating for what?
Whatever. What's something that would make you excited to collaborate with somebody?
Well, actually, I have few names on my mind
Yeah.
because I run into ethics, and culture and all of these values more than who are they.
Yeah.
But I can tell John Smith,
Okay.
my favorite DJ, actually. Um, yeah, actually, I have to say that.
John Smith.
Yeah,
All right, John Smith.
yeah.
You hear this? Last one I'm going to give you. Mexican street corn or anything else?
No, hands down.
Heads down.
Yeah.